Morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly market update. Today I have Kayla and Jordan with me. How are we, guys?
Good.
It's a bit icy out there with a -2 start to today.
Yeah, it was a bit fresh this morning.
An awakening of what's ahead, I think, over the coming weeks. A bit of snow on the mountain and some frost, so that's winter's nearly here. So anyway, what's happening in property management? We've had lots of properties up for a few weeks, but I believe quite a few of them have disappeared this week.
Yeah, we leased 6 last week,
Yep.
so the board's looking a little bit better.
Yes, yeah.
But then Maddie has brought on a few new properties on Friday, so we're slowly adding back to it, but we're still really, really busy.
Yes, yeah. And things are slowing down a little bit as far as applicants go, and especially in the high end. Is that
Yeah. So the high price properties, probably like 475 onwards, has just slowed down a little bit. Not as much interest as we'd hoped. We do eventually lease them, but it's just not as quick as a 50 to 450 property.
Yeah. But super quick in the cheap properties.
Oh, definitely. Units that are under 300 or just over 300.
Yeah.
Multiple interest, so it goes pretty quickly.
Yeah. So with the housing shortage and crisis and stuff, it's obviously the people that can afford the lower end properties are where that's sort of shining through still. But obviously a lot of people in those scenarios aren't going to afford a $600 or $700 worktop.
Which is most of the properties at the moment, which is the higher end ones, which not everyone can afford, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they're going a bit slower. So what you find is very competitive in the affordable ranges for tenants, but if it's somebody who's in between houses and looking for something in the higher price ranges for a short to medium term, then there's a lot to choose from.
There is.
You can get a really good house at the moment. So sales, what's been happening over the last week or so in the sales department, Jordan?
Yeah, it's been actually a really positive week. We've managed to get a couple of properties together with offers that have been on the market for a few weeks now, which has been positive in a way that it's sort of hovering around to that 30 days as far as getting offers and presenting. But I think the big one was probably, if something is on for that little bit longer as far as 6 to 8 weeks goes, just readjusting and seeing where we're all at and reevaluating it does make a difference. Just with a couple of open homes that I did over the weekend was just packed with numbers and going through and potentially seeing it for the first time as well. So there's always that second pair of eyes ready to go. So
it's been interesting. The open home numbers have actually been pretty reasonable on properties that we haven't really been getting inquiries on.
Yeah,
so that's actually still generating some reasonable buyers, a lot of local and Hobart type buyers that are turning up to open homes that are not taking the step to inquire on a property, but they're sort of coming through that channel. So they have been definitely worthwhile doing over the last few weeks. For sure.
Like for instance, one I did on the weekend, I went through all the inquiry later that day, and none of them were actually like real estate.com inquiry. They were just all people that just came through the open home. And we're potentially going to get something out of it over the course of the next few days. But I think that's a good show that they do work. So and so interesting times. Definitely, they're like looking at what's selling and what's coming on. I think this the other day, we've actually been selling a pretty high percentage of what we've been bringing to the market, but the market stats have shown to shift pretty dramatically, and we're noticing that with our internal stats where what we're selling was quite a high percentage of what's sold in the Huon Valley compared to what's been listed, and that means we're getting results on nearly all of our properties where a lot of other properties are staying to sit and they're not getting results, and they're sort of there for longer sale time. So it's interesting looking at the sold section on some of the larger websites versus looking at the for sale section as to where the results, because a lot of people are going, oh, that's a lot of properties, that person must be doing really well at that agency, selling a lot better. Actually, there's not actually selling.
That's how it works.
It's pretty fun. So that's sort of changing a bit at the moment, where there's sort of that tendency still to probably hope that the market was like it was 18 months ago, and the prices have been a little bit unrealistic with certain which is confusing for owners at the moment a lot. We're sort of seeing that coming through with really wide price
opinions, and time of the market sort of starting to show that when the price isn't right, that it's sort of pretty brutal. The market's not responding at all, and the interest isn't there. So it's and buyers are really responding well if something's priced reasonably well right through the different price ranges.
It's very big one too.
That's the same with rentals. If it's priced right, you have no issues.
Yeah. And the eyeballs are still there, like looking in the back end of all the websites. The views for the property haven't fallen away that much. It's just the inquiries per property. You've got 4 or 5 that are getting 10, 20, 30 inquiries, and then the bulk are getting 0, 1 or 2 sort of thing. So it's just the ones that are attractive are going really, really strong, and so the eyeballs are there. The people are watching, but they're only acting if it's something that they're confident to act on and they feel is worthwhile and priced fairly to get them off the couch and out onto the end of the world to look at it, I guess. So all right, well, that's probably enough for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll let you go and enjoy the sunshine now the frost disappeared and get some beautiful autumn weather. It's I'm sure we've got some nice days ahead this week by the look of the forecast. So we'll see you all out and about in the sunshine somewhere.